So good, so good, so good.
Great gifts for mom? We've got them. And they're up to 60% off at Nordstrom Rack stores now.
You know they have Marc Jacobs?
Gotta show mom some love.
That is so good.
Snag amazing deals on Mother's Day gifts from Barefoot Dreams, Kate Spade New York, and more. Great brands, great prices. That's why you rack.
British Spy Stories Season 4 Double Agent Episode 17. The rain had started in the late afternoon across London. Loxby pulls up the hood on her coat as she emerges from the tube station and turns along Shoreditch High Street. After 10 minutes, she pushes the door to the Light Bar and is shown to a corner of soft seating. She orders red wine and flicks through her social media while she waits. When Riverside arrives, he is soaked through, as it's pouring down now outside. He puts in an order as he passes the bar, then drops down next to her. "What the fuck is this?" he says, without any greeting, as he puts his phone down in front of her on the table. The video posted by the man in the pub of Gavin Masters pushing her over is playing in a loop on his screen. "I didn't know he'd get violent, did I?" "Fuck's sake, Emma. Don't you get it? You can't go off and be James bloody Bond all on your own, you know. I was using my initiative." She can feel the anger rise inside her. Riverside's beer is delivered, and he takes a long gulp from it, then puts the glass back down, heavily, on the table. "I've just spent an hour in Thames House with one of your operations directors telling them that you're not out of control." He opens his eyes wide and looks straight at her. "What were you thinking?" "I told you," she says. "I thought we could collect some evidence from him, like Webster." "And who's this girl at the table with you?" "My flatmate." "On a live operation?" Riverside's voice has been getting more frustrated since he arrived, and the man next to them looks around now. "She didn't know," says Loxby. "I said we were just going for a drink with an MP." Riverside takes a deep breath out and drinks another slug of his alcohol. Eventually, he says, "You need to promise me, Emma, that you'll never do anything like this again." "So I can't decide how I go about my job?" "Not as a junior, no. Not when you've been here for 5 bloody minutes. When you've got experience, then maybe." They both drink simultaneously. "Look," he says, "you've got potential. You were good with Webster, but that was part of our agreed plan. You put yourself in danger going solo." He pauses and smiles at her. She breathes out. "He knew I was MI5, she says. "That's why we pushed each other." "How did he know that?" "He didn't say." "That tells us that someone leaked it, and that you were busted before you even met him." "It was a little bit useful then." She smiles. He nods very slightly and looks reluctant. "But don't bloody do it again. You promise me?" "Yeah," she says quietly. Dusk has ended as Gabby walks along the top corridor of the MI6 headquarters and turns the handle of a door marked Vernon Kell Conference Room. Sir Bernard is watching the Thames in the darkness outside as she walks over and stands beside him. A large oval oak table with 20 chairs around it dominates the room. "I was concerned when I got your message, Blackhawk." "I thought I'd come and see you, sir. Something doesn't add up with Agent Thornwood. My Lorenz." He turns and walks to a tray with glasses and bottles on it and pours out 2 gin and tonics. They sit opposite each other at the oak table. "Meyer was running 2 assets," says Gabby. Oberdorf and Wittbach. Oberdorf was Vincent Fevrier, and Wittbach was Leo Haas, a long-term criminal. They're both dead now. One murdered in a hotel room, the other we killed. What's your question, Gabrielle? Why are we killing our assets, sir? She flicks her eyes up to his. I was overruled at the Joint Intelligence Committee, says Sir Bernard. I said no kill, but there was intelligence from GCHQ about Haas that swayed the committee. But he was a British asset, sir. A kill order on a British asset is highly unusual. The last time it happened was 1998, when the Deputy Director General of MI5 was exposed as being a Russian double agent. Sir Bernard pauses to sip his drink. He was found a week later, after apparently committing suicide. She watches his face. It was hushed up, of course. I was a field agent at the time. I was only briefed on the whole thing when I got this job. I can only tell you now because of your enhanced clearance for Operation Barwood. Haas's death could affect the ops, sir, she says. You asked me to find Maya Lorenz because of her links to Fevrier. This isn't just a search and locate. She could be a double, couldn't she, sir? If she killed Fevrier... I don't think she did, he says. And your ops are about Friedrich Anderson and Maya, not Haas. Gabby pauses, wondering if she should ask the next question, then decides she has nothing to lose. Did we kill Vincent Fevrier, sir? No, we didn't, says Sir Bernard. But I did receive some new intelligence earlier today. It appears that Fevrier's double status had been exposed less than 24 hours before he died. That may have got him killed. We'll need more details on his death, sir, she says. It may lead us to Maya, and I want to send a resource in to talk to the Berlin police. He drinks another mouthful of gin. Now, update me on your progress to collapse Friedrich Anderson. I haven't seen you around for a few days, Gav, says Hugh Burns, as they meet in the corridor outside the Riverside restaurant in the Houses of Parliament. I'm eating alone. Want to catch up over lunch? Gavin accepts, and they are shown to a table. I see you've been on social media, says Hugh, with a wistful smile. But Gavin's face remains serious. It's all gone to shit, Hugh. The waiter takes their food and drink order. What happened? Who's this girl you were fighting with in the pub? I wasn't fighting with her. Gavin's emotions rise. That's not what the papers are saying, old boy. Hugh can tell that his jovial approach to this conversation is making Gavin annoyed. So he pauses and then says, Gav, can I help? A friend in need and all that. 2 glasses of Merlot are brought to the table. You know we talked about Charlie Webster, says Gavin. Yeah, sorry, I haven't got round to sorting that lunch yet. Forget it, it's gone way beyond that. What do you mean? Says Hugh, breaking a bread roll on his side plate. I met Webster. We argued. About what? Gavin takes a deep breath out and gulps a mouthful of wine. Never mind what we argued about. We met because Becky and his wife have gone off together. What? She's left you? No, not yet. He tries to smile but fails. They've taken Lily and gone somewhere to get away from it all. You know she was arrested. I saw that too, Gav, says Hugh. Your life's a bloody mess. This is you helping, is it? Gavin's eyes flare. Hugh puts his palms up to pacify his friend. Do you know where they've gone? No idea. Do you want to find her? Says Hugh. Of course I bloody do. What kind of question is that? Gav, you need to calm down, mate. You're well known in the papers for your slow deliberation over political issues. Now you're acting like a bloody schoolboy. They pause to eat, and Gavin says, There's something else too. Hugh is silent. When Webster and I argued. Afterwards, I drove away too fast and nearly hit him with my car. Nearly hit him, or intentionally tried to run him over? Does it matter? Of course it bloody matters. Did he report it? Gavin shakes his head. Go to the police, says Hugh. Get your version of events on the record. Then, if he does report it, you'll be covered. You know anyone senior in the Met? Yeah, Commissioner Jacobs. We're on a committee together. Call him. Gavin nods. Yeah, that's a good idea, Hugh. I will. A high black wrought iron gate at the far end of the lake house's garden gives access to a footpath along the bank of Lake Zurich. Laravel puts on her coat and makes her way across the grass, then unlocks the gate and disappears into the woodland beyond. After 15 minutes, she emerges from the trees, and she can see a boat jetty pushing out into the water. 2 large yachts, moored alongside it, bob and roll in the weak sunlight. There's a bench at the very far end of the jetty, and Gabby is sitting there. As Laravel walks to her, a faint breeze blows inland from across the water. I bought coffees and Danish, says Gabby, and she holds up a paper bag. They sip their drinks. We may have to change our plan, says Laravel. What's happened? Amandine has a new attitude now, after Vincent's death. Gabby is listening carefully. She feels too constrained by the directors of Friedrich Andersen. They want to reduce the company's exposure to loans for arms purchases. Amandine only owns 20% of the company, says Gabby. She's in no position to force their hand. Not legally, says Laravel. What then? Laravel drinks, then says, She's going to steal the money and use it to fund arms sales. Gabby looks at the lake for a moment. And she wants me to help her? She looks back at Laravel. That's good, she says. Amandine steals it from them, and we steal it from her, and remove that money from the pool of funding for illegal arms sales. Gabby explores Laravel's face as her mind ticks through what they need to do. How does she want you to help, Jenny? I don't know yet. I'm guessing I'd do the legwork, though. She's not the kind of person to get her hands dirty. Gabby nods. Tell her you have some contacts who can help as well. That'll be me, Hans, and Kate. But don't give her any names yet. We'll get some cover lives built for us, and I'll ask Hans to start looking at a plan after he's back from Berlin. Why is he going there? I saw Sir Bernard, says Gabby. I'm sending him to find out what really happened when Vincent died. Something is being covered up. I still think the chauffeur is hiding something, says Laravel. Hans did a search on him. We found nothing. Something's odd, though. Search his room, here, says Gabby. See if you can find anything incriminating. Yeah, okay. Gabby's phone buzzes in her pocket. It's Kate, she says. She answers the call and listens for a few moments. Then Gabby says, I'm putting you on speaker. Jenny's here. Repeat what you just told me. Kate's voice comes out of the phone. I was just updating Gabby that Zetkin's contact has sent me another kill order. Right. This time the target is Amandine Lacroix. Laravel's eyebrows knit together. I thought they were allies. Zetkin aspires to be top dog, says Gabby. My guess is that he wants to remove Amandine and deal direct with the bank. She's probably become a liability to him. They tell Kate about Amondine's new plan to steal from Friedrich Andersen. I need to think through how the kill order and the robbery fit together, says Gabby. For now, we progress both. What about Tallis, Kate? He's fine. Just wants to get away. You trust him? She says. Of course. He's just an innocent caught up in all this. We still don't know why Zetkin wanted him dead, do we? Says Laravel. She and Gabby lock their gaze as they wait for Kate to say something. I asked him. He doesn't know. There's a moment of dead air. Right, says Gabby. Let's get on with it. Talk later, Kate. She ends the call, and they walk back to land from the end of the jetty and stop at Gabby's SUV that is parked near the road. Is David a risk, Gab? The other woman widens her eyes. Well, we need to watch him. They hug. Laravel turns back and goes into the trees, and Gabby gets into the Volvo and steers it back up to the main road. It's dark by the time Gavin gets home to Ashworth Road. He doesn't take off his coat before climbing the 2 flights of stairs to his study in the attic. He flicks through his diary to find the phone number for Sir Ian Jacobs and sits down in the swivel chair at his desk as he puts the phone to his ear. Sir Ian, Gavin Masters. How are you, Gavin? I'm very well, thank you, Sir Ian. I wanted to flag something to you about an incident I think you should be aware of. On the other side of London, in her hotel room, Rose watches the video stream from Gavin's house. It's to do with a chap in the Civil Service Procurement Branch. How urgent is this? Says Jacobs. Could it wait until the morning? I'm just going into a meeting here. Of course, that's fine. Call my mobile tomorrow, says Gavin. I also wanted to say thank you for releasing my wife. The police commissioner pauses, not sure how to respond. She was always innocent, says Gavin. The arrest took it out of her, though. I suppose you get a lot of mistaken identity cases. It can happen. How is she now? She's disappeared, Sir Ian. After you released her. She never came home. Are you concerned for her safety? Possibly. Let me flag that up, Gavin. I'll get someone to look into it for you. Thank you, Sir Ian. They ring off. In her hotel room, Rose makes her own phone call. Oscar, I've got an update about Masters. He's going to talk to the police. Zetkin doesn't hesitate. Tell the boys to go into the house. When they're holding the women, you can go back to Masters and tell him to keep quiet. They end the call, and Rose messages the men, watching the house on the coast in Suffolk.